Hello and welcome back to MAHA Mamas. I'm Tanya.
I'm Jennifer.
And this is episode 3.
Okay.
Happening,
so we're just going to do our little disclaimer again. Like, we're not medical professionals, doctors, nurses, anything like that. So anything we talk about on here related to health is just simply our opinion and what we choose for our families. And it's just what we want to share with you. It's your job to research that and come to your own conclusions.
Yes.
We are not going to diagnose or cure anything. So that's that.
Right. But this episode should be quick and easy and fun. We're just kind of going to go through the rundown of the week and things that are happening. There's so much happening. It's hard to keep up with it all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. All right. Am I starting?
Yep.
Okay. Big one. Are you guys ready? The COVID shots are to be removed from the childhood schedule soon.
Why were they on the schedule to begin with?
Really, why were they on there? Like, how did that happen?
Because remember, the whole thing was like, kids don't need to worry about this illness.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's good news. It's super annoying that we're even having this conversation.
I don't know how they got put on,
but
they're coming off soon.
I mean, I feel like
Great
after 1986, a lot of them ended up on the schedule pretty quick, but I just don't know that they ended up on there that quick.
Right. That was insane.
Yeah.
So good news. We're heading in the right direction.
Yes, that was announced by the Health Secretary Kennedy yesterday, maybe.
Yes.
The other thing is, I saw an interview between Secretary Kennedy and Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire, and he just straight up asked him, like, are we going to see any changes with the childhood vaccine schedule?
Oh, yeah.
And he was just like, yes. There was no mincing words. That was a really great interview. So if you have time, check it out. It wasn't very long. There's lots of clips of it going around too.
Right.
But he basically said everything on childhood vaccination policy is going to change. He said they will have a surveillance system in place, which they didn't have before.
For like adverse events and reactions.
Because he said they were like basically documented after it was like after it was in circulation.
Yeah.
And there was no, and because there was no double-blind placebo safety testing on any of them, there weren't true safety testing to document like adverse reactions. So their adverse reactions were basically what happened once it was out in the population, which seems really unethical to me.
Yeah.
So he said that's going to change. And he said, the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has gotten really good at managing data, and they will be managing all that data. So that was big news.
Yes, that is. Okay, another one is, let's see, the FDA is removing prescription fluoride tablets for children from the market. Yes. So good.
So why?
Fluoride is a neurotoxin. That is not a conspiracy. I don't care what your dentist has to say about it. It's a neurotoxin. It should not be given to children. They were doing this. Why? Because if it's not in your water supply, you need to like supplement your child.
Right.
No, don't. And also go get toothpaste that's fluoride free, please. Like, start there. If you have no idea where to start with your health journey, start there. Fluoride free toothpaste.
Yes. I stopped taking fluoride probably 25. I stopped getting treatments from the dentist like forever ago. I don't even remember. I think I was still a teenager, but I quit using fluoride toothpaste probably 25 years ago. I've never had a cavity in my life. I know my dentist says I'm a freak of nature, but my 6 kids have never had fluoride.
Yeah, your kids
ever.
have great teeth.
And we don't have dental issues. So the lie that it prevents cavities is a lie. It's been used as a bioweapon. Fluoride is definitely not safe, but they thought that we needed it, that they just released it into water systems. And so I remember, like, when my oldest was little, our pediatrician at the time looked up if we were in an area with fluoridated water, and we weren't. So he told me that I needed fluoride drops to give to him. And I didn't know any better. I started giving in to him.
Did it.
And he started getting white spots all over his teeth. And so I found out that was because of the fluoride, and I stopped right away. And then I jumped down the rabbit hole, realized, what am I doing? And quit. But anyway, now 20 years later, they're like, oh, fluoride is really bad and we shouldn't be giving it to kids. So the FDA is pulling those tablets off the market.
Which we have known this and been trying to get the word out. So this is awesome that that's happening. For sure.
For sure.
Okay. What's the next one here?
So RFK also came out and said that basically Alzheimer's, they've been quote unquote looking for a cure forever. And he said, for 20 years, because of utter corruption, this is a quote from him, and fraud, there's no cure for Alzheimer's, because they were directing any hypotheses for Alzheimer's other than the only one they were following, they shut it down. So the one they were following wasn't working, but people would come up with other things and they would absolutely shut it down. So
I think you said it was corruption with like the NIH or something.
Yeah.
They just, I want those people to be like held accountable because of your like issues. Like people could have, like if this could be prevented,
for 20 years of corruption fraud. So imagine if 5 years ago your mom or dad or grandmother died from Alzheimer's, and that could have been cured, but because of people's egos and greed and control, that's what, you lost your loved one to a horrible disease that didn't have to happen. Kind of like 2020.
I know. So true. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So what was the point of that? I think Doge is they're going to manage the data now differently. Right?
Yeah. But we're going to change the Alzheimer's research and hopefully come up with something soon. Or at least something in the right direction.
Right.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
What do we got next?
So I think it was a week ago, there was a subcommittee hearing. It was the Doge subcommittee, and I think it's headed up by Marjorie Taylor Greene, out of representative out of Georgia. The unfair play, keeping men out of women's sports was the title of this.
Got the shirt on.
Yes.
Protect women's sports. Protect women. But by doing that, we're also protecting women's sports.
Yes.
In their areas. Right.
So it was really kind of ridiculous. Two of the issues that was brought up was...
Are we going to watch that thing or no?
Yeah, I'll play a clip in a minute. Congresswoman Nancy Mace really unleashed on this lady. The lady that was being cross-examined or questioned on the Hill was Fatima Gross Graves.
Oh, this lady.
She embarrassed herself.
Oh, man.
National Women's Law Center is who she's from. And so apparently she's some sort of expert on women's rights.
Yeah. Get out of
And
here.
then the other guy that was with her being questioned was Damian Layfelt, which was a representative from USA Fencing. So there was a young lady who was basically black carded in USA Fencing.
Right.
And I assume that's some sort of penalty, and was because she refused to fence with a male. And USA
Good for her.
Yes.
She did the right thing, but that's ridiculous because we're losing opportunities as women to do what we love to do.
So she didn't get to do what she wanted to do because she wouldn't bend the knee to this nonsense where we all have to pretend to go along with other people's fantasies.
And it's not safe. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
It's like you're taking away not only our opportunities, but it's like a safety issue. And so what was she saying?
Well, and USA's fencing's position was, well, this isn't a contact sport, so it doesn't really matter if it's a man going against a woman. It's really ridiculous. Read more into that story.
Yeah.
The other story that was brought up, and I cannot remember this athlete's name. One of them was McNabb, and I don't remember if that was the fencing girl or the volleyball girl.
Yes, the volleyball. Did y'all see that video? Oh my goodness.
I didn't see it. Was it bad?
Oh yeah. I didn't know you haven't seen it.
No.
I saw it. It's
what happened?
Horrific. He just spikes like right at her face. It's horrible.
So this same Rhodes Scholar, Fatima Gross Graves, who is an attorney too, which I don't even understand how she made it through law school, but she said, I think the bigger issue is that we shouldn't be spiking volleyballs at people's heads. So she wants to change the rules of volleyball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like protect women's sports. Like,
has she ever even watched a game of volleyball?
Oh,
you can't have volleyball without spiking. So spiking is hard, and a head sometimes gets in the way.
So she's saying we should let men play with us women, and then just change the rules so that they can join us.
Correct.
And you're just ruining what women's volleyball is and how awesome it is when they spike. Like, get out of here.
Right. So we want to show a quick clip from Nancy Mace's exchange with this gem of a human, but it's much longer, and it's very satisfying to watch, but we don't want to take up all your time, especially when she punks the dude out at the end.
We're going to talk about male anatomy, so
yeah,
just FYI. Cut it out.
No, hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Let's get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers. My next question, yes or no? Should little girls get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers? Yes or no?
I don't know what you're talking about, but what I will say
Oh, I
is that
absolutely do.
privacy
We've
in
heard
locker
testimony
rooms
today
is
about trans
extremely
women. Those are
important.
women with penises. Those aren't real women.
Privacy in
If a man can be a woman, just identify as a woman, as you say, just by saying so, what is the point of having women's sports? What is the point of women's spaces? What is the point of women's scholarships? If you're just going to allow men to take them away, why even bother? Why bother?
I'm going to play it one more time because we didn't.
Do women have penises?
So I believe that women.
Democrats have
shouldn't
gone
be-
so
I believe
crazy.
that
Women can have
should
penises.
not
That's
be
not a thing.
reduced
That's not
to
biology.
their
It's not
anatomy
science. And you
or-
sound like a lunatic.
And the women.
Should
that
young
I hear
girls
from
just
at
get
the
used to
National
penises
Women's
in their
Law
locker
Center
rooms and showers? My next
not-
question, yes or no? Should little girls get used to penises in their locker rooms and showers? Yes or
I
no?
don't know what you're talking about, but what I will say
Oh, I
is that
absolutely do.
privacy
We've
in
heard
locker
testimony
rooms is
today about trans
extremely
women. Those are
important.
women with penises. Those aren't real women.
Privacy in
If a man can be a woman, just identify as a woman, as you say, just by saying so, what is the point of having women's sports? What is the point of women's spaces? What is the point of women's scholarships? If you're just going to allow men to take them away, why even bother? Why bother?
Where do I?
Okay. Sharing. I don't remember if that stops the whole thing.
That stops the whole
I
thing.
don't know
Oh,
how
this
to-
right here.
There,
Okay,
yeah.
there we go.
We're learning. Sorry.
Okay.
So good.
So
Well, what's her name is so good. The Cosgrave lady?
yeah, Gosgrave.
Cosgrave.
Okay,
Get out of
did
here.
you ever think that there would come a time in history where this would be what's debated on Capitol Hill?
No.
Like what
Oh my goodness.
alternate universe must we be living in where we have, and like the part of the interview you didn't see is when Congresswoman Mace like tried to ask her to define a woman,
And they can't.
and they get all like dazed and confused, like what I don't understand the question.
They're like, it's yes or no.
It's
answer.
and she's like, well,
I want to explain more. I need to explain myself. No,
Yeah,
you don't.
no.
It's yes or no.
Yes.
Ugh,
And I just
so ridiculous.
like it. And there was she was questioned by another lady who, I can't remember what that congresswoman's name is, but they're all out there right now. You should totally watch them.
Mhm.
She was like, am I a 6'2" blonde supermodel? And she's like, well, you're sitting down, so I don't
can't
know how
really
tall
tell.
you are.
No, she
And
was
she's like,
even
but-
blonde.
She's like, my husband might think I am, but I'm not, right? And she's like, well, no, you're not. And she goes, but I identify as one. And it went into this whole thing about like how if you feel like you are something, you can have your own reality, but we all don't have to change our reality to fix yours.
Especially when it has to do with our safety. Like,
right.
yeah, no way.
And you
can play in your house and have an all pink room with your little pink pillows. You do you in your house. It's not really changing who you are. But once you come out into our spaces, in our sports, no, absolutely not.
I was going to say, if you're a man and you think you're a girl, don't come in the bathroom where me and my daughter are.
Oh, no kidding. You will not come out well.
You might not need the surgery to remove things.
Oh, there
just
you
kidding.
go. She's so
Anyway,
blunt.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, this rolls in really well with this if we're going that direction.
Okay, so
there's a new pope.
There's no pope. Pope Leo the 14th, formerly known as Cardinal Robert Prevost.
He's American.
Yeah.
That was like I'm pretty sure that was like never going to happen.
Everybody said it was never going to happen.
Yeah, there's like this whole, everybody's freaking out. But anyway, why is everybody freaking out? Because he started with a lot of clarity this week. It's already making headlines. Why?
Because he's not confusing everybody.
Yes. He very clearly stated that marriage is between a man and a woman, right? And that being male and female is not cultural construction, but a divine gift. Okay, so he's saying these were our designs by God, and that nobody has the authority to redefine this foundation. Well, I'm a fan. Yeah. But that shouldn't be like controversial.
Right?
Like
what? It's always funny to me when like the headline is Pope says that marriage is between a man and a woman, and Democrat Catholics are concerned. Okay,
we call them Biden Catholics.
Okay, what is new here though? Like, what is new? This is what the Catholic Church, and almost all of
Christianity,
Bible following Christendom, except for the ones that try to redefine what the Bible says, believe.
Yeah.
So what did you think was going to happen?
Male and female, and told them to be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
And you can't just decide differently.
Yeah. Well, and so
like what you are, you are your body.
I guess my question for you, Democrat Catholics who are concerned, what of the Catholic Church do you believe? Like,
yeah,
where is the confusion? Because that, granted, the Pope before him kind of blurred those lines and made things very confusing. But if you actually look at his statements too, he still stated this multiple times.
The media just always spins everything.
Right. I mean, and I don't agree with a lot of what he did, but he never once said, we're going to change marriage. We're going to redefine it. We're going to, he said some other weird crap, but that wasn't one of them. So this shock about him is kind of funny to me. I just okay.
Totally. Is that everything there? I can wrap up with the short thing. So go for it.
So former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer that is metastasized to bone cancer.
Yes.
So I'm a little confused only because there is like really good screening on prostate cancer, and it's also like one of the most treatable. So are we being lied to again? I know that there's those tapes that came out.
I know.
That like where the guy was like, he can't stand trial because he's not
competent.
Sound.
Yeah.
And so is this a distraction from those tapes? But there was a thing, I don't remember when that gaffe was where he was talking to people and he's like something about where he lived in Delaware where there were a lot of cancer. And he's like, I have cancer. Like, everybody's getting sick. He goes, and that's why I have cancer. Yeah. And then everybody's like, oh, he didn't really mean that.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
But there's doctors saying, well, the timeline makes sense if that's when he was actually diagnosed.
Was that him telling the world he had cancer in that clip?
Or a Freudian slip, because when people have dementia, stuff comes out of their mouth that they probably didn't want them to say.
Gotcha.
Which he did a lot.
I know.
So, I mean, we're sorry that he's sick and everything, but is it another lie? Like what's really going on? And we knew he wasn't well.
Yeah.
We knew he wasn't well and they were going to run him again.
Right. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I don't know. Go tell us in the comments. What do you think?
Yeah.
Does he have cancer?
If you guys have questions or anything, let us know.
Yeah. And we would love, like, if you guys want to throw some stuff in the comments about what you would like to hear us to hear us, commiserate on, we would love to hear that.
And I'm going to end with one story, but I think we're going to go back to contraception. I think for episode 4, we're going to hit that again a little bit more.
But more from the social aspect rather than the health,
Yeah. But I mean, both. It's all, it's all has to do with health and the dignity of the human person. And that's society as a whole, how we see that. And
Correct.
So, okay. So next episode, look more for contraception stuff. Okay. But I'm going to share this quick story. This is awful, actually. My son had a baseball tournament this weekend in kind of a high agriculture area. I'm not trying to give anything away, but it was an extremely windy morning. It was awful wind. It was freezing. We were all freezing. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the game, my husband and I both smelt like a chemical, like super strong. And we looked at each other and we stood up and we're like, oh, heck no. And right across the street is a farmer and he's spraying his crops, like with God knows what. I'm assuming like some type of pesticide, right? And so my husband got up immediately and called the Department of Agriculture, which was closed on Saturday. And I sat there with the girls and I was like covering them up, and I'm literally like praying, like in my head, like, please God protect us from these chemicals. Please don't let them cause our family harm. Like just totally praying over my family. And I went over to the dugout where my son was, and I was like, buddy, I need you to put your shirt, just hold your shirt up or something over you. I don't want you to breathe this in. We're trying to like get it stopped immediately. And so anyway, we ended up this guy did a couple of passes. The cops were called. I went out in the parking lot and talked to them. And he said, unfortunately, I can't do anything about this. Like I'll go touch base with him and try to talk some sense into him. But like, there's nothing illegal that I can that he could do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's outside of his.
It's all through the Department of Agriculture. So they'll probably take that guy's license, but it's something that like can't be handled until, what was Monday. And so I
think we were in a wind advisory. It was like 40 to 50 miles
so he's totally going to lose his license because you can't spray with winds like that. And right across the street is a whole baseball tournament. So 4 fields of games, and there was soccer stuff going on. So there was like 2 soccer fields. Well, come to find out through like Facebook posts around town, there's now like a whole case open, and all these moms, including myself, are like, the Department of Agriculture is going to have to come out and like swab our chairs and like they're trying to figure out what chemical it was because they don't even know. It was like a middleman. Yeah, like the soccer moms, they were closer to where this farmer's land was,
and they stopped their game.
They stopped the game. The kids were like coughing because they're running, and they stopped the game, pulled the kids off the field. They were having like tingling, like they could taste it and smell it, and they were having nausea, like they were getting nauseous. And just like all these immediate things happening health wise. And so that's when we all just ended up at the parking lot and talking to the cop, and he ended up stopping. But like, these are the things that I wish more moms and dads were like aware of and would all stand up together and say, whoa, this is not okay. Like stop games, like figure out, like problem solve. Like this is for the future of our children, like this next generation. People need to be held accountable for things like that. So don't be afraid or feel like a crazy person to get moving, to like get action going. Like it's all of our children are so worth it. Like do the right thing. I'm so mad at that farmer, but there's a whole case. It wasn't the farmer, I should say, because now everyone's who knows us is going to be like, where is this? It wasn't the farmer. It was some like middleman. Some company was just there spraying, and they were totally not allowed to be doing that. And it's really sad and upsetting that people don't have the common sense to make that call.
One of your kids was coughing.
Yeah. One of my kids has been coughing a little bit ever since, and now, and I've been on the phone and sending emails with the Department of Agriculture, and then the Environmental Protection Agency was involved too. And so, just pray for all of our families that were there. And I'm just, I was just happy to see the moms reacting like they did. And so so I just want to like, I don't know, make people enthusiastic about doing that.
And because, I mean, like we're in the Corn Belt here, and I feel like it's such a common thing to see spraying. I see guys, down on ditches on the sides of county roads spraying. I think it's such a common thing that we see as growing up in a high agriculture area that nobody even thinks that they can do anything. Like they don't think that there's rules or regulations, because you see it all around, and you don't know what guidelines they have to follow, but they do. There's actually a website called driftwatch.org for like apiaries and people.
Yeah, like he'll be in big trouble for spraying. Like he will probably lose his license.
Yeah. And
so you can call on that.
And if they don't have the right protective stuff on, there's all kinds of stuff with the Department of Agriculture and OSHA and everything that they have to follow. But that's exactly why I've been trying to find land and an acreage for a while, but I won't do anything that's surrounded by corn or soybeans because that they do this. They do like before they plant, they do anhydrous ammonia into the soil to increase the nutrients or whatever. But they make methamphetamine with anhydrous, just to tell you how toxic that is.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out what they sprayed on us still.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness. But yeah, there's so much that they put down, and then it gets in the water, and that's another topic.
Runoff, yeah.
Whew. So yeah, so don't be afraid to, see something, say something, protect the health of these kiddos. Like, I'm so mad that happened, but it was good to see action getting done.
And that's what makes change.
And that's what this MAHA movement is all about.
Right.
Like, make America healthy again. We need to be aware, and then we need to get going.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay. I think that's all for today.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more on contraception and all things health.
And all things health. Yeah.
Yes.
God bless.